thinking about random teacher stuff because I'm working on my national boards renewal. They don't call it renewal anymore, but a lot of the big time learning that I did when I first started teaching was done during those first 4 to 5 years, and it wasn't necessarily me quizzing people constantly to help me, or reading books, or taking classes, or anything. It was me just sitting there in my room by myself saying, now that didn't work, what am I going to do tomorrow? And it took a long time every day. I was not afraid to stay up at school until it got dark, just sitting there, organizing what I'd already done that day, figuring out what worked and what didn't, analyzing assessments, and saying, all right, there's a problem if 85% of the class just failed that, and that's me. I'm the problem. But I finally got to where I wouldn't let myself stay past 6 o'clock, whether I was done or not. And I just thought I was being very chivalrous about that. But now, that's when I figured out a lot of stuff, because I could just sit there and think about it. And I was there by myself, nobody's bothering me, talking to me, TV wasn't on, whatever. And I wonder if I would have felt obligated and okay about doing that in the same environment that we're in today. Today, we're getting all this message of don't donate your time to your employer. If they're not giving you enough time during the day to prepare for what you're doing during the day, then that's their fault, not yours. And that's absolutely true. 10 years ago, I would not have been expected to teach this many kids with as little preparation time as I have now. It's awful. It is ridiculous. But at that point, I needed time to just sit there and think. And I realized there was a lot of things that I didn't necessarily have to do. It would be nice if I had time at the end of every day to grade every paper, to put everything in a grade book or whatever I was doing, and next day be ready to do everything fresh again. Yeah, that'd be good. It would be good if I was able to go through every paper and write each child's name on it if I was sending a letter home or something. But it can't always happen. Stuff like that I had to learn to let go of. Or I had to learn to let the students help me do it. They can help me write names on papers. Or I can say, here's everybody on your row, pass them down. Stuff like that I had to learn to let go of to a point. But there's some pieces of this that just take a long time to figure out. And it changes all the time. I learned, a few years later, when my husband and I started working together, that he was ready to go when school was out. And I would still stay for a little while, but he wasn't going to let me stay past about 45 minutes when it was time to go. What really made me shift was when I had kids and I needed to go get them. I had to leave right then. There was no option. And what double, triple reinforced that is if you ever drive a bus route, because about 5 minutes before the end of school, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go drive a 60-foot or whatever long thing full of people's babies. All right? There is no, oh, let me go gather up these papers so I can grade them at home. There is no, well, let me just clean this little mess up or straighten this up before I go. You were in the bus and you were gone. You were leaving, you were gone. And, you know, if it was an hour or so, I didn't even remember what I'd done. By the end of the day, it wasn't quite that bad. I only remembered the big stuff. And if I was soaking wet, sweating and tired, I wasn't going to go back in there and do it. It could wait till tomorrow. And doing that over and over again after I had already established my teaching practices, after I had already been able to prioritize, this is what I have to do before the next class meeting, this is not. That really helped me to break my mind off of overanalyzing and overdoing it every day. Now, but I will say, there is value, especially right at first, or if you're doing something new, if you're doing something different, or if you've decided that what you're doing isn't working. It's going to take time for you to think of it. Creative energy, and you don't have that every day. You may only have that on Mondays. You may only have that after a week break. Is there enough time for it during the day? Absolutely not. But I think it is valuable, and we need to not be afraid of it.